cool.
Okay,
Not
and then
in-person
I'm
people.
going to stream to Facebook and pray that it works.
So we have
Oh,
to be
yay, my
official
friend
and
Natasha is
professional.
joining us.
Yes. Let's see, is this going? Oh, I do have permission to live stream. Yes, Facebook, I do. Oh. Okay. For some reason, I'm not able to stream to Facebook right now, even though I tested it the other day and it worked. So let me try it again. Sorry, you guys. Technology, right?
Just pretend we're in the middle of the pandemic.
Right?
You know.
Oh, you guys can unmute and say hello real quick. We have Benjamin and Christine from Reno, Nevada, and Kelly Singleton from Reno, Nevada, and Michelle Stoneley from Baltimore.
Baltimore. You know, I want to say,
But everyone, when you say Phoenix, everyone thinks Phoenix, Arizona. So
I know.
That is true.
I know you're from Baltimore or Phoenix, Maryland, but I say Baltimore because no one knows where Phoenix
is. Yeah.
But I remember at the retreat, you said near Baltimore, and then of course I had to sing Good Morning Baltimore.
Yes, you
Help myself.
Okay. All right.
Did it.
Think
Yeah, streaming. There we go.
doing it. Oh, I'm not going to sing right now. Let's see. And there we are. Okay, now I have to get my volume off on my computer so that we don't go crazy. All right. Oh my gosh. Yay, it worked. Okay, well, I am Pamela Zimmer. I am your self-care concierge, and most of you know me. Maybe a few of you do not, especially if you are watching the replay or if you are watching through our Self-Care Isn't Selfish Facebook group. And I'm so excited that I got to gather some amazing people this evening to share about the Permission to Be Mexico retreat. We have some exclusive alumni interviews happening tonight. Dun, dun, dun. And I am just so grateful that these people decided to not only come to the retreat, but decided to come back to the retreat for a second, maybe even possibly a third time, Kelly. And so I just wanted to let you all hear what their experience is, because it's more powerful when you hear it from other people rather than me sharing it with you. So this retreat is something that God put on my heart years ago, and I took the leap and I stood in the sand at this retreat center and I said, I am hosting a retreat here and I don't know when, and I don't know who's going to come, but I'm doing it. And God made it happen. And now we are coming up on our third retreat in 4 years. Thank you, COVID. And I'm just grateful that I get to do this work that God calls me to do. Marie, I see that you're here too, but your name is like Jennifer something. So I wonder if we can change your name.
That's so weird because I had a hard time getting in. It wouldn't let me come in under my own
Weird. Okay.
Through my own Zoom account. It made me just copy and paste it into my browser.
Oh, okay. Well,
and
there
this is
you
literally,
are.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I made it.
You made it. Yay. So this is Marie. And she is my amazing partner in this retreat. I could not do this without her. She is our yoga instructor, and she's more than just a yoga instructor. She's a friend. She's a confidant. She is my business partner in this. And I love her to death. So I know that Marie and Kelly, you two have somewhere to go. So we're going to start with you. And then we're going to finish with Christine and Benjamin and Michelle. And for those of you who are just listening in, if you're here on Zoom, feel free to open up the chat, ask questions, engage. If you are on Facebook, I have that open too on my phone. So if you have any comments or questions in the chat, you can do that, and I'll be kind of looking back and forth. So Marie, I'm going to start with you. And I have a few questions for each of you that I've sort of prepared, but my first question is, what is it like to teach at a retreat with someone else? Like, I know that you have been to retreats, you have your own retreats, where it's just you. So how is this different, having the two of us together teaching alongside each other, knowing that you're doing yoga and I'm not doing yoga?
Am I unmuted? I think I did it.
You
Okay.
are.
I think it's like the best of both worlds for me, because I get to come lead my part, and then I get to soak up your part. So it feels like I'm the winner in the whole thing. There's a release of responsibility when I don't have to deliver the content. I'm just responsible for delivering the yoga. I think as far as the participant is concerned, there's a benefit from getting the perspective from two people, both coming to the table with their own passion, I would say.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you. And again, I love having Marie, and I could not do it without her. Yoga is such a crucial part to the retreat. So share what your thoughts are on why yoga is so important to this permission to be retreat, or any retreat.
I think, well, for me personally, I would think that having the yoga practice it gets us geared up and set for that mind-body connection. Kind of opens up, gives your body permission to open up and receive what you're going to give everybody that's coming, where a lot of times we'll enter into that arena thinking that we're ready for it, but not really realizing that whatever we're holding on to will maybe prohibit full participation. So there's a benefit, just that in general, every day, your body being given the opportunity to release what's no longer serving you. Therefore, you have the full capability to enter into the realm that you're bringing, and you have the ability to soak it up because you're not just pinpointing and focusing on whatever you left at home.
Love it. So let's talk about yoga. We need experience. Do we have to be, a certified yoga instructor, or do yoga 6 days a week to come to the retreat?
Absolutely not. And I think there's even people on this call that their very first experience with yoga was at the retreat. But I think that my job is to know who's coming and what they're bringing with them, and to be able to meet them exactly where they're at. So trusting in me to be able to do that is a huge responsibility on my part, but also from the participant, they have to be open and willing to learn new things and give me the information we're asking for, right? Like, I need to know if this really is your first time, or if you are not flexible at all, or if you have a lower back injury that I need to be aware of to be able to care for during the sessions. But there is no previous experience required. One of my favorite things about leading at the retreat is getting to see people grow from point A to point B over the course of 7 days, and seeing how much their practice changes during that time. And I get to see that in people that come and have practiced yoga for many years, longer than me. And I get to see that in people that get on the mat for the very first time in Mexico. So it's not required. It doesn't matter. And it's not like if you are an experienced yogi, I won't be able to, well, let me word this better. So if you come and you have more experience than me and you've been practicing yoga for 20 years and you're far beyond my own personal capability, as a yoga instructor, my job is still to be able to meet you where you're at and to cue options, even if they aren't particular things that my body can do. So again, it comes back to being able to trust me to lead well.
Mhm. And you do lead well. You lead very
Thank
well.
you.
Very well. Awesome. Thank you. Is there anything else
Mhm.
that you want to share or say or just let people know?
I don't think so. I mean, I'm always available. If anybody has any questions, you are more than welcome to send them. Even my cell phone number, they can text me if they have thoughts or questions or wondering about anything. I think that one of the things I've run into with a yoga practice is people just not understanding where it comes from or being confused about meshing a yoga practice with their belief system. And that's one of my favorite conversations to have. So I would just encourage anybody that's on the fence because of that, that
Mhm.
they would reach out and just be willing to have an open conversation with one of us.
Yeah. Love it. Beautifully said. Thank you.
Oh, no problem.
Kelly.
And I'm putting Marie's phone number in the chat.
Oh, awesome. Thank you. Okay. So Kelly, question for you. Why did you say yes the first time? Because I remember I got a little notification in my email and I was like, I don't know who this person is. And I got on the phone and you said, I want to come to your retreat. I'm like, great. I don't know who you are. So tell me, what made you say yes that first time, aside from Marie probably telling you, hey, you have to come to this retreat?
Hold on. I don't have my glasses on. Hold on. 8651. Okay. Marie's phone number is in the chat. Sorry, I had to finish that task.
So thank you.
Well, I had recently gone through a divorce and I am a certified yoga instructor, but I had been out of practice for a couple of years, just going through the divorce. I probably let the most valuable thing I had go in my practice. And I knew Marie and I loved her heart and just her energy. And I knew that wherever she was going, I wanted to be. I didn't know that what you had to offer was the icing on the cake, because I went because of the yoga, but when I found out what you had to offer, my eyes were opened enough that I've been twice now and probably will go this year. So yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. So you mentioned that you went for the yoga.
Mm-hmm.
So what was it that surprised you the most? Was it the things that you got, the people that you interacted with? Is there one thing that you can pinpoint that surprised you the most, that really was like, wow, I'm glad I went?
Yeah, the food. No, I'm kidding. The food was amazing. I'm not gonna lie. No, seriously. I wasn't sure what permission to be was. And I was a little guarded because I didn't know that I wanted to be that vulnerable. But you created such a safe space. And I've always said, I mean, I know the last couple of years we've talked about this, and you always ask such great questions and you allow there to be space and just pause to get us to think a little bit deeper than to just ask the question that would typically be like right at the forefront. Well, really, what does that mean? Deeper. And I didn't know. I mean, I love the freedom that you give when we sign up and you say, if you don't want to go to every session, that's okay, because we want you to do you. If you don't want to go to every yoga session, you don't have to go. We want you to do what serves you best. But like, I went to every single session 2 years in a row, both yoga and permission to be. And I don't know, it changed me. It changed me.
Did you find value the second time around? Because a lot of times people might think, oh, I've been once, I don't need to go again. And like Michelle and Christine and Benjamin, you all have gone once and you are getting ready to go your second time. But Kelly, you've already been twice. So did you find value the second time around?
Absolutely. I did, because it's different people with different experiences. And I mean, if you open yourself up to learn and to be different and yeah, just open yourself up to be able to receive what other people have to offer. Yeah, I met some really great people and had some amazing experiences. And yeah, I wouldn't trade it. It was great.
Awesome. And food, what was your favorite meal?
Oh my gosh, it's impossible. Like, it's all gourmet. You feel like you're at a 5-star restaurant. Everything was good. Probably, I don't know, I like the juice a lot.
Mm.
I love that we get juice in the morning before our first practice. And
Yeah.
oh my gosh, it was all just so, the desserts, woo, everything, right, Marie? Right, folks?
Yes,
Everything.
all of it. Everything.
I just want to say that there's nothing better for someone with dietary restrictions to be able to have dessert every night. So amen to that.
Us,
Right.
us.
Yes.
And I just want to say thank you, just publicly, for your ability to be able to connect with everyone.
Mm.
And it's hard when you have a big group, it's hard, but you managed to do it. And Marie, for you to be able to tailor everyone's practice, it doesn't matter if you're a first timer or if you're old or overweight or, whatever, it doesn't matter. None of that stuff matters. You make us all feel like we're the most beautifully perfect yogis in the entire space. So anyway, thank you both for what you've done.
Thank you. Thank you. And I know you have to run, and Marie, I think you have to run as well. So just stay on as long as you can, and you can just slide away quietly when you need to leave, which is probably now. Thank you, Kelly.
Bye guys. Good to see you all the familiar faces, and hope to see you new faces there.
Yeah.
I got to go teach some yoga.
All right. Thank you both. I appreciate you both.
You're welcome. Love
all
you.
So
right.
we're gonna
Thank
move
you.
into the second half now. So we've got Michelle Stonley from Phoenix, Maryland, which is just outside of Baltimore. How's that? And Christine and Benjamin Matlock from Reno, and they all were at the retreat this year in April and are coming back again in March. The next dates are March 11th to the 18th, 2023. You can register now, permission to be, not me. So Christine and Benjamin, I'm going to start with you guys. What was it like going as a couple?
It was actually really awesome to go as a couple, because I wanted to do some sort of self-care, something for both of us, and this happened to just be what we chose. And then it was kind of cool because, we were able to connect on a deeper level, like together, and also like on an individual level. So there were, some group sessions where we would have partners, and a lot of the time we were each other's partner, but then we were also able to partner with other people in the retreat, which was awesome. So I loved it.
Benjamin, how about you? Because you kind of didn't really know exactly what she was bringing you to.
Mhm.
So how was it coming for you as husband and wife?
Yeah, you're right. I had no clue what I was getting into. I'm one of those husbands that just says, yeah, sign us up, let's go, whatever. So it was a really cool experience because of that. Very surprising and shockingly cool. First, I thought I was ruining her woman's retreat, but then there was one other guy there, and we bonded as well. But having that couple's time and us being able to bond on a different level was just really unique. It was the first time I felt like we had actually gone on a real vacation in the entire time that we've been married. So that was, just a wonderful relief and something that was unexpected.
Awesome. Awesome. Now, did you guys find that you found enough value and benefit individually as well? Because a lot of the sessions we did do partner share, and you guys were a couple for that. Did you feel like you were left out individually at all, or that you were lacking? Oh, I wish I could just be here for me. Did you get enough individuality in the retreat?
I definitely think we did, because I got to bond with other people like Michelle. And, we made some new friends. And like I said, like there were times where we did get to do, we didn't even sit next to each other. We kind of spread out a little bit so we could interact with everyone else. And, some of the quiet times and the journaling and stuff, that was awesome because, I didn't have to write about him. I wrote about what I felt and what I was doing. And then there were times where we did stuff together. So it was definitely a good balance of both.
Yeah, I agree.
And same question. Same question for you, Ben.
Yeah, I agree. It's there was plenty of self-reflection and plenty of time to dive deep, and you definitely facilitated that well. You asked some very tough questions, some things that kind of brought up some things for me that I had no idea I was even going through. So that was cool. It was just a really good experience.
And then to see to watch him progress in his yoga practice, like from, not very much to doing headstands on the beach in a week. That was really cool.
Yeah.
So it's cool to watch his growth along with what I was doing as well.
Mm-hmm. I loved watching you guys watch each other. I think as the facilitator and the one other couple there, it was neat to see you each, again individually, but then as a couple too, just supporting each other and doing the headstand on the beach, again from someone who probably has never stepped foot on a yoga mat, was amazing. And just the way that as a woman, I never felt weird or awkward. As a man, did you ever feel weird or awkward being in a space that was mostly women?
No, not at all. I felt very accepted and invited and just a part of the group.
Yeah, good. And I'm very cautious as to the men I let come. I don't let just anyone. I have to know you or your spouse. So for those watching, that's my little, I don't know what it is. Not tagline, just something to make you feel better that I don't allow creeps. Okay.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks, guys. Anything else that you want to share?
I just want to reiterate that the food is amazing. And my friend Natasha is on listening, and she's also vegan. And Natasha, just to let you know, Kelly is also vegan, and she had amazing meals and all the things, and they are very good at the dietary restrictions and making sure, because there were people there that had like lists like this long and they were able to accommodate and make a shared meal for everyone with those restrictions, which was fantastic. And the massages were good too.
Yeah. Oh.
The facility, I just want to say the facility itself
is
amazing. The location is amazing. You have I mean, you know you're in Mexico, but you really have no clue. Like once you're there, you're kind of so secluded and it's so private. You just feel like you are at a 5-star retreat the whole time. The chefs, the food, the catering, what you get for what you're paying is top notch. It's like I said, it's the best vacation we've ever been on. And it's the first real vacation. We've taken a lot of trips. We've gone to a lot of places, but it's the first time we've ever had like a real disconnect from society, a disconnect from our lives, from stress, from a lot of things going on, and had that time to bond, connect, and have that vacation time that we really needed.
Yeah. And everybody that works there seems like they really enjoy their job and they're happy to be there. So that like creates a good vibe for the guests that show up. So I really love that. And the fact that, I mean, you don't have to worry about anything while you're there. Like you don't have to worry about tipping people every day and all the things that you normally worry about on a trip, or we call them trips now. This is a vacation. The rest of them are trips.
Oh, I love that. I love that. And you're not the first person that's told me that this was the first time they felt like they were truly on a vacation and not just a trip. So I hold that standard. So awesome. Thank you guys. All right. Last and surely not least, Michelle Stoneley. I'm so glad that you joined us. It's late for you. You're all the way 3 hours ahead, but you probably have a lot of farmhouse stuff that you're working on. So,
No. Go ahead.
one thing that I would like to know is you came with your daughter, but you essentially came by yourself, right? So what was it like to not have your spouse with you?
Just like Cindy said in the chat, like I couldn't imagine John being there. Esther had never really done yoga. She had done a little bit with me here and there at home, but had never really practiced yoga at all. So that was really new for her. And I loved seeing her, blossom and just like meet all these new people and come out of her shell. And, kind of like protective mama. I was like a little bit, is she going to talk to people and all of that? And it was just like a family there. I mean, it was like everyone just loved and accepted everyone. I loved that part of it. But I came with no real agenda. I came because, well, I'll be honest, I came because I had the money and it sounded really cool to just, go to Mexico and do yoga a whole bunch. And I was like, why not? And I came away with more than I could ever have imagined, ever. Like, I mean, it's the reason that when you put out the dates for the next year, I was like, yep, going again, just, and you asked this question earlier, Pamela, about for Kelly, like, why did she do a second year, or did she get as much out of it, right? And I've kind of thought of that, like, what do I think I'm either going to get out of it, or why would I go another year instead of picking some other retreat? And honestly, from what you helped guide us through during those 7 days, I felt like I left a different person than the person I came as. And the work that I've done on myself since then, over this last year, makes me so excited for the next year, because I feel like, kind of like Benjamin said, like there were breakthroughs that you didn't even know that you needed to make. There were these like realizations that were like giant light bulb moments that I had no idea I needed to have like happen in order for me to progress, in order for me to like go to the next level of who I was. So I came with no agenda. And this year I kind of am going into it the same way, with no agenda. It will be different because I don't have Esther, and we loved that mother-daughter time and all of that bonding. But there was also, like I said, sort of that like mama bear watching, making sure she was okay. So I'm just really looking forward to totally disconnecting.
Yeah. Awesome. I think it's going to be a totally different retreat for you. One, because we're all in a different place, even every day. We are never the same person, the same day, the same. Even an hour ago, I was different than I'm going to be an hour from now. So if you can imagine a year from now, or well, a year from last time, um, we're all in different places. So that alone, yeah, you're going to have a completely different retreat. But then also, like you said, you're going by yourself completely, unless you bring a friend, but they don't have to, you don't have to mama bear them, right?
Right.
Like you did, Esther. So yeah, I'm excited to see what that experience is going to be like for you.
Me too.
So I want to ask you real quick too, because you didn't know a lot of the people that knew each other prior to coming. So what was that like for you to step into this new environment, new people? Some people already had that bond and you were like, hi.
No, for sure. And I think like for the first 10 minutes, it felt like that, like other people greeting each other and talking about familiar things with each other. So I was glad to have Esther for that, just as kind of like, even if I don't get to like connect with people right off, like we have each other, but it wasn't like that at all. I feel like there were definitely people at the retreat who were maybe a little more guarded or like really didn't know anyone. There were a few people that like really knew nobody, which was remarkable that they had like the courage to come and do that. But I mean, like Christine and I decided to be best friends at the retreat. It was just like, there were so many natural connections and so many just like bonding moments over really good food or, just being at the beach or laying on the mat and just, I don't know, turning yourself over completely. And then like Christine mentioned, being paired with people who weren't someone you knew really well and kind of getting to go to another level with someone that you really were like superficially knowing, but then all of a sudden you were able to share and just feel like, oh my gosh, this feels perfectly natural and like how it should be. So it was a little strange for like 10 seconds. And then, you'd go to these amazing meals and someone would come up from behind and hug you and you'd be like, I don't even know who it is, but it doesn't matter, because it was just like so familiar and also really heart-wrenching. I think the harder thing was that at the end of it, all of you went home and were together.
I know.
And then I was like, I'll see you in a year, maybe, like some of you. And so I think that was even like the harder part, was just like, I might not see some of them again, even though we became close and like, really like shared parts of ourselves that we don't share easily with other people, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. We had a little Reno spa day and we really missed you all who aren't here local. So we have
Yes.
to go back to Mexico to see each other again.
Well, speaking of spa days, I think one of the things that nobody has mentioned is the massages. Hello. I had 3 in a week. That's like a record for me ever. And there was a point in one of them where like I was an hour in and I was like, 30 more minutes, please. Like just, yeah, she didn't even speak English, but she knew 30 more minutes. She's like, okay. Because I'm sure she all the time. So
all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That.
And that's a benefit. I'm going to use that as a little shameless plug. It's a benefit if you bring a friend. There's a bring a friend massage bonus. So you get a massage and your friend gets a massage. And it is so the most amazing massage ever. I mean, not just because you're in Mexico, but there is something about Anna Maria that
It's magical.
Is a magical body worker. So yes. Anything else that you want to share or, say?
I think the thing that I really liked about it was how totally unplugged and remote it was. Yes, there was sort of internet there, but it really was like, I think it's been said like 5 times. It was really the first vacation I went on where, I FaceTimed with my husband and my son a few times while we were there. But I wasn't like looking at my watch. I wasn't doing, anything like that. Like we went to, yoga and then permission to be. And then after that, it was just kind of like, what do I feel like doing? Not like, what am I scheduled to do? But like, do I want to go take a nap, go sit at the beach, go for a walk, go in the pool? Like, I just loved that there was just this time to like listen and really digest everything you gave us in our sessions. And then after that, it was almost just like, what do I want? What do I need? What does my spirit need right now? And then, sunsets and yoga on the beach. Like there were just so many incredible moments.
Yeah, and Christine, you mentioned also, yeah, the free time and the excursions. So, you know, one of the things that I did when I designed this retreat, it was purposeful because I don't want to go on a retreat where there's so much crammed in there. I want space too. So I'm not going to teach a retreat that I wouldn't want to go on. And part of the work that we do, it's a lot. Like we work through a lot. There's mindset shifts, there's emotional breakthroughs, there's physical breakthroughs with yoga and trying new things. And so we need to have that free time in that space to process. And so I make sure that every day there's hours of free time. We have a whole day in the middle of the retreat. So we have 3 full days and then a day off of nothing planned and scheduled. Or you can go on excursions, you can go into town, you can go horseback riding, you can do whatever it is that your heart wants to do, and then come back. And then we finish up the last 2 days. So it's really a real rejuvenation and reset, body, mind. You know, I always talk about self-care being these 4 levels: physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. And this retreat really does tap into all 4 of those in a way that you really feel filled up, in my opinion. But I don't want to commandeer the conversation because I am having fun listening to all of your answers. We have Crystal Riley on, and I'm wondering if she would like to unmute because she is also an alumni. Do you have anything that you want to add or share?
I loved the space that you provided for us. I think I was not in a fabulous space when I went there, and I left in a much healthier mental state of mind. And so it was really like I really, really needed the retreat. So, and I loved the card questions you asked, the being in the community. I don't eat vegan, so the food was not my favorite, but it was good for what it was. Just not used to that type of food. So, but I went home feeling lighter in more ways than one. So that was good. And then, you know, having the choice to do the excursions. I mean, there were so many really great points of it. And I'm connected to a couple people that I did meet at the retreat too, and some tapestry members. So that's really cool that I got to experience it. So I loved it.
Oh, thank you for sharing. We appreciate it.
I'd love to take my husband, so I'm trying to talk him into it.
Oh, yes, that would be fantastic.
Yeah, so
We'll let you work on that. Does anyone have anything else that they want to share or say, or questions? I know we don't have a whole lot of guests watching, and this is being recorded, so I'll send it out. So if you're watching the recording and you have a question, please feel free to message me or email me. I do want to put out there that, again, for anyone who is or was on earlier and is not already registered, if it's your first time coming, I will give $350 off registration if you pay your deposit. It's a $500 non-refundable deposit by Friday. So that's within 48 hours. I figure that's enough time for people to watch the replay or get questions answered. So $350 off. I was just going to raffle it off, but I'm like, well, I'm feeling generous and abundant, and I know my God can do great things the more that I can be generous. So $350 off if you get your deposit in by Friday. And then I would love to raffle off a $100 Southwest gift card for anyone who is a guest as well. So I know that we had a couple guests on and they had to leave. So I'm going to open up that until Friday as well. So if you are a guest and you are watching this, send me your name. And obviously you will have had to watch up to this point to hear about this. So I will enter you into a drawing for a $100 Southwest gift card. That's my little plug. I do it and I share it because this is what God's called me to do. And I'm walking in my purpose. And who am I not to share the blessing that he gave me with you? So that's it from me. But does anyone else have a question or anything else that they want to add or share before we end?
I do. I think
Yeah.
everybody should. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, Crystal. We weren't fast enough. I just wanted to say for any guys that are watching this, that you definitely should consider going with your wife if that's what you're going to do, because that's probably the only way you're going to go anyway, and be invited. And just know that it's it really is there's nothing to be ashamed of as a man to go do this thing, because I know a lot of men have this weird thing about opening up like that. I think it's a really important thing to do as a man. It helps connect you with who you are and who you are as a husband to your wife. That's all I want to say.
Nice.
Thank you. Crystal, what were you going to say?
I was just gonna say, I think it was a really amazing experience. It was a total game changer for me. And I left with a lot of value and it really shifted my perspective. And so I think everybody should really go to it at least once, probably more than once, to really get value.
Awesome.
I would say one more thing is when you decide to come to retreat, to just really come with an openness, a willingness to like feed and be fed, and then really just like leave all expectations at the door. Because I think when you come with just like a blank slate of what it could be, it will exceed all of your expectations. And I think it will like give you insight into yourself. It will give you insight into your past. It'll help you see your future better. I felt like in every way, like everything I wanted from it was amplified more than I could have imagined. And then I expect that this year, not really having an expectation, but I know the mindset I'm going in with and who I was a year ago to where I am, coming up is so different, and the people will be different. And I think just like opening our circle to new people, we never know what God has in store for us and why he puts people in our path. But, when you show up to something like this, knowing that everybody's there intentionally, everybody's there because they want to do better, be better, feel better, release the past. Like, I think that's really powerful stuff. And I think that's when, you can feed and be fed because your heart's just so gigantic, Yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful. Thank you. Well, thank you all. I am completely filled up that you all showed up for me tonight. And we're willing to share your experience and your heart and your encouragement for others. So thank you. Thank you. I can't wait for March 11th. It's going to be here before you know it. We're just about like 4 months away, which is crazy. And it really makes me want to be there because it's snowing outside and it's cold and icy and I want to be, I want my feet in the sand. So I just want to say thank you. Thank you. Permissiontobee.me is the website, or you can reach out to me. The live is going to be in our Self-Care Isn't Selfish Facebook group. So if you're watching it through there, or if you're just watching the Zoom replay, let me know if you have questions, or Marie or Kelly or Michelle or Christine or Benjamin or anyone. We would love to see you there, and I can't wait to see you all next time. So have a good night. Thank you.
Good to see everyone.
Definitely. See you in 4.5 months? It's crazy.
4 months.
Hey.
4 months. Yep.
Yeah.
Time
Thanks
to
for
start getting airline tickets.
Yes.
No.
Julia, do you want to stop the recording?
Yes, I can. It's not showing me where to do that. Sorry.
That's okay.
I also have Facebook and it going.